to another segment of Smarterfan podcast where we bring you behind the veil of sports, business, and life. I'm Joe, and this is Barry. What's going on, Barry?
Oh, there's a whole lot going on in the world of sports, my friend, and we're going to touch something unique tonight. And I'm just so excited about what we're going to talk about tonight. Man, it's going to be a fun show as always. How you doing?
I'm doing all just fine, just fine.
Awesome, awesome.
All right. So, week two in the NFL. Okay. The Jets, they got off the mat and they beat the Titans, and
Really?
yeah, they managed to beat the Titans, and Aaron Rodgers, he didn't look too bad. He shook off a lot of the rust, you know, and they got the job done. So I think they're 1-1 now. Now the Giants, they didn't have as but they didn't have as good of luck as the Jets because on the opening kickoff, they lost their kicker to a hamstring injury.
Oh
So
boy.
yeah. So now they didn't allow Washington to score a single touchdown, yet they still lost by 21-18, because Washington kicked 7 field goals. So,
Well, you really don't want me to respond to that because all I can say is Saquon Barkley.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, that's how it went with the Giants. So now they don't have a kicker for uh, who knows how long. So now Sam Darnold is 2-0. The Vikings upset the 49ers. So, and they're without McCaffrey. They don't know when he's coming back now with that calf injury of his.
He won't be
So,
back to the second half of the season.
mm,
He's too
probably
valuable.
so.
Yeah, he's too valuable.
Yeah, yeah, you know. So, and the Cards, they just took the Rams apart. I mean, it was just crazy. But they got a lot of injuries.
The Cardinals?
So the Rams,
Oh, they do. Oh,
yeah, the
okay.
Rams have a lot of injuries. Cooper Cup left the game, and he took the offense with him.
Mercy.
So, and of course the Cowboys got destroyed by the Saints. I don't even want to talk about that. You know, Big
Hmm.
money Dak didn't come through, and the
Well,
defense. Go ahead.
uh, I think it's easy to blame Dak because think about this, Joe.
Mhm.
How is he able to perform so well in the regular season and not money time?
Mhm.
It doesn't make
I just,
sense
that,
unless you don't have a coach who knows how to put you in a good position. It
well,
doesn't
that's
add up. It doesn't. It's
that's
the
the
same.
number one question.
Yeah, it's the same phenomenon I keep talking about for the last 3, 4 years with Lamar and the Ravens. The problem is
Mhm.
not Lamar. The problem is Harbaugh.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
I-
Well,
In
anyway,
my humble opinion. Yes. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
so that's what we're looking at for week two. But tonight we have a special guest,
Mm.
and uh, he has quite a collection of sports memorabilia, and his name is Jeff Santiago. And like I said, he just has quite the collection.
Mm.
And we were fortunate enough to have him on the show tonight.
Awesome.
And he's going to tell us, about some of his stuff, and how he got started, whatever. So I'd like to bring Jeff in and see what he has to say.
Sounds great. Here, there he is.
Gentlemen,
Well,
thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Awesome to have you, Mr. Santiago. Can I call you Jeffrey?
You can call me Jeff, Jeffrey, whatever you'd like.
Awesome, awesome. So when Joe told me about you and being in the memorabilia space, I was like a kid in a candy store because I love memorabilia. I've had friends who played in the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball. Um, I'm just a kid at heart when it comes to sports, and so having you on tonight is a great pleasure, and we thank you for taking the time out. And Joe, I'm gonna let you kick it off because if I start talking, you'll never get in. So you better go ahead of me, buddy, and take it away.
Hey, Jeff. So, how did you get started in sports memorabilia?
I have always been interested in sports and comics and basically pop culture. I loved superhero shows. My first language was Spanish, and I actually learned how to speak English by watching cartoons, and I learned how to read and write with comic books. That was, I don't remember a time when I wasn't into superheroes, comic books, and my beloved New York Mets. So I've been a sports fan, and I was lucky enough to grow up and just really started to appreciate sports in 1969, 1970. When, as you guys know, the Mets won the World Series, the Knicks won the NBA title, and the Jets won the Super Bowl. So,
Hmm.
that was a good start. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't think that I would have a 50 years to wait for another one with the Jets and the Knicks. So I'm still waiting. And you know what? We had 86 with the Mets, so it's okay. And they're actually pretty good. They actually won in a walk off tonight. But I've always, I used to go with my mother and my grandmother, and I would, if I was good that week, I would get a comic book. We would go
Hmm.
shopping on the weekends, or I would get a pack of baseball cards, or I would get a Matchbox car. And every weekend it was, one or the other. Now, the fortunate thing for me was I was an only child, and I was also very neat. So kept all of my comic books and my baseball cards and my toys and everything in like immaculate condition. And my mother never had to throw anything out. And when I became an adult, and believe it or not, when I first got married and my wife and I bought our first home, we got that part of the down payment for the house was my comic book collection. I actually sold my
Mm.
comics. So collecting is not only the therapy and fun for me, but it has been at times it's really helped. We've had some rough times where we were downsized from jobs, and the way I look at it is my collection is kind of like people have stocks and bonds and mutual funds. I have autographed baseballs and autographed bats and stuff. And there have been times where you have to grab something off the shelf and put it on eBay or sell it, and you know I can enjoy my stuff as opposed to some other people that have all of their investments or whatever put away. I can walk into the room and kind of get like a therapy from them. And I also go to card conventions and memorabilia shows, and I've gotten to meet just about everybody. I mean, I've met Muhammad Ali 2 or 3 times, Joe
Wow.
DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, Ted Williams,
Wow.
Joe Namath, you name it as far as sports people are concerned. And then I've also gone to other shows where I met like William Shatner from Star Trek, and George Takei, and some different celebrities. And it's a lot of fun, and I've also been able to share it with my family. My kids are into it, and we go to conventions together, and we have it's great. It's just been it's a part of my life that is been very, very enjoyable to me. So that's how I know I went on. I tend to talk a lot, but I kind of just took you through from the little kid to today.
So, how long have you been collecting?
I mean, I just turned 62, and I think I probably started the first pack of baseball cards that I bought was in 1970. So that
Mhm.
was I was
Mm.
8 years old. So I would say that, yeah, I've got 50 something years of just accumulating stuff.
Interesting. So, what was your first sports collectible?
Ooh, man, Joe, that's a good question. Well, I don't count the stuff from when I was a kid because those baseball cards that I bought in 1970, I actually taped them to my closet door. So if you know anything about
Mm.
sports memorabilia, that's not very good.
Mm.
So those were my first collectibles, but they really, didn't stay with me. But I remember getting Archie comics and Casper comics and
Mm.
some superhero stuff when I was a kid. But I think the one thing that I remember that I really wanted as a collectible was a corgi. Corgi, it was a high end car, die-cast car. It
Mm.
wasn't Matchbox and Hot Wheels were big in this country, but corgis were made in England. And I remember
Mm.
that there was a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang corgi that
Mm.
I loved. I saw that thing in the store, but it was too expensive. I think they were like maybe $5 or something like that back then, when you
Yeah.
could get like a Matchbox for like $1. And
Mm.
Mhm.
I got it when I was like 50 years old. I finally ended up, so I have it in my collection now. But that's not my
Wow.
first collectible, but it's the first thing that I obsessed over. So
Mm.
that's probably it. So and then there's another one, if I may. When I was a little kid, when I was 2 or 3 years old, the Beatles were really big, and I had there was a picture of me that I found on I think it was like my second or my third birthday, and on the cake were these four beetle figures, these little noddlers, right? Nodders, right? They were like little bobbleheads, but they were small. They were like about this big, and they were on my cake. And growing up, I would be like, Mom, what did you do with this? Oh, my mother was like, oh, that was garbage and threw them out. And then probably like 20, 30 years ago, I saw them. Not the exact. I mean, they were the exact ones, but obviously not
Mhm.
mine. At like a record store in the village. My wife and I don't think we were even married yet, or maybe we had just gotten married, and I got them. So I still have them. So I have them
Wow.
with a
Wow.
picture. It's like my whole thing is presentation and being able to share this stuff. So I have the picture of me as a 3-year-old with the cake toppers, and then I have the actual Beetle cake toppers.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Cut
So
you so
So Barry, uh, what's your curiosity?
oh, I gotta calm down. I gotta calm down. Jeff, I guess how there's so many parts of the collector's game, and you've given us the history of how you began, and really appreciate that. And I can see you got the fire early, but what would you say has been what drives you? Does a trend drive you? Do you just collect what you like? Is it a combination of your collecting? Is it a certain sport or all sports? It sounds like you got some pop culture. What kind of drives you?
Barry, that's a great question. With me, I collect what I love. Okay,
Mm.
I mean I've got stuff in my collection that is absolutely worthless to anybody else. Right? I mean, but it's something that I cherish her, and I like, and it somehow links me to a memory of when I was younger. Now, I also have some things like you're seeing right now, that are quite valuable. I mean, the holy grail of collecting is a Babe Ruth autograph. So I was
Uh-huh.
lucky enough to obtain that. I have a Babe Ruth autograph. I have a Muhammad Ali glove. I have Ty
Wow.
Cobb autographs. I mean, I have a lot of things um, that are valuable, but that's just it just happens to be something that's gone up in value. Whereas I have a lot of things that have no value, and it's very, I don't advise people that are collecting to collect based on trends. Beanie Babies.
Mm,
All I have to
mm,
do is say Beanie Babies, right? There are still some original Beanie Babies that are worth a lot of money, but for quite a few years, people were buying Beanie Babies left and right.
mhm,
Every week they were coming out with new ones and they were retiring them, and it was crazy. And now, my wife was one of them, and we have a suitcase full of Beanie Babies in the basement.
mhm,
So if you're going to collect in the hope of you know striking it big, I don't advise it. I collect for the fun, and if I get lucky, you know, I've gotten some comic books, for example, that I thought were really cool. Um, I got comic books that I bought. When Spider-Man changed his suit to the black suit, he actually became,
mm,
that character ended up becoming Venom. So I paid, $1 for that comic book when it came out, and I kept it, and now it's worth several $100s, and I just got lucky. And there are things that I've gotten, like I bought a Michael Jordan rookie sticker card
mm,
from the '86 Fleer set. There was a rookie card, and then there was a sticker. Everybody was crazy about the regular card, and nobody really paid attention to the sticker. And I was like, it's in the same pack, it's in the same set,
mhm,
and there are fewer stickers than cards. So I bought the sticker, and the sticker, now as the card goes up in value, right? The card is like, you can get a mint condition, Michael Jordan card is like 75,000 or $60,000. The sticker kind of like trails on it, but it's like, what do they say? The rising tide lifts all the ships.
yep,
And so you get lucky, and but the thing is I wanted a Michael Jordan rookie card. I didn't do it because there was going to be a boom. It just so happens that it happened.
yeah,
Uh, so
yeah,
so I
nice,
don't recommend trends, because now the big trend is like opening packs, and there's just so many cards and so many different manufacturers and so many things. I just don't know. I'd rather, if I had if I had $1,000 to spend,
mhm,
right, and somebody said go out and buy a card, I would rather spend it on a so Hank Aaron rookie card, which I have, and which you guys saw a picture of,
mhm,
than somebody that just started playing like a year ago, who God knows, he could have his, these, yeah, there's the rookie card. That's a 54 Hank Aaron card. It's not in the greatest of condition. It's in a 1.5, which grading is a whole other thing that we could probably do a whole show on.
mhm,
But I love Hank Aaron. I love Willie Mays. You see, that's Willie Mays's rookie card on the other side of that.
yep,
I'd rather
yep,
spend my money on something, on proven commodities like Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Roberto Clemente is huge.
mhm,
That's my guy. That's a Michael Jackson autograph. I'd rather spend money on vintage stuff than speculate on somebody that, you could be a great player. I mean, look at like Wander Franco, right? I mean, like, the guy was great, and then there's this blow up issue that he had, and now he's gone, right? There are dealers that have hundreds and thousands of Wander Franco rookie cards that they spent money on, and now they're worthless. The same thing
mm.
happened with Jose Canseco.
Yeah.
So I'd rather spend money on a proven commodity, something that I enjoy, and that is just always going to be a classic. I mean, like, Henry Aaron. Come on.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Jeff, you covered some. Well, I want you to tell me some more about that, because I really, because you're so eclectic. So, what are some of the rarest pieces in your collection, and what makes them special to you? I know you kind of touched on that, but I'm sure there's something in that collection that you didn't tell us about. Like what's really rare and that really is like kind of that diamond in your collection or diamonds.
I think you guys have a picture of it, but I have a pair of original Air Jordan
What?
sneakers. They're not game used because I probably would be on the Riviera somewhere if they were game used. But they are
Wow.
OG 1984 Air Jordan sneakers. They're the breads. They're the black and red ones, the ones that he was not
What?
allowed to wear, right? So they're the ones in the poster, but then he wasn't allowed to wear them because they had the sneakers that he played with
Yep.
had to have white in them,
Yep.
right? So one of the pictures that I sent you guys is of those sneakers, and they're I wouldn't say they're incredibly rare. It's just there's how many 40-year-old sneakers are out there, right? And then the
Yep.
thing is that they are, I had them before I set up my collection in the big room. I used to have them I had an office in my house that was the formal living room. So you could basically see my collection when you would come in the house. And I had a pizza guy come in, to deliver pizza once, and he saw my shoe. There they go. And he was like, "Are
Ah,
those Jordans?" And the thing is that he thought that they were like reissues, because you can
uh-huh.
still buy that style.
Yeah.
And I said,
Mm.
"Yeah, those are from 1984." And I mean, like the guy was like drooling on himself. And
Hmm.
even somebody that doesn't know about sports, that's what the cool thing is that there are certain
Uh-huh.
things that even if you're not a sports fan or you don't nothing about sports or superheroes or anything, you see something like that and you're like, oh wow, those are original Jordan,
Yeah.
you
That's
know
Wow.
that's amazing. That
you
is
know and
amazing.
one of my other favorite players was Dr. J.
Yeah.
And I went out and I got some OG Dr. J Converse.
No
And
way.
oh yeah, I don't have
Mm.
pictures of them, but next time I'll show them to you. And I got Dr. J to sign them last year.
What?
Yeah. So I have Dr.
Wow.
J's Converse, the original with the
With the
red,
red. Yeah,
the red,
stars.
right? The
Yep.
star, and
Yep.
he signed them
Mm.
in red, right
Oh,
on the the top. Julius Irving, Dr. J, and
That is
I have Puma Clyde's signed by Walt Frazier.
oh
mm.
wow.
So that
Well,
kind of stuff, you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. And
that's
when I
amazing.
got Walt Frazier to sign my sneaker, it was at his restaurant,
Mm.
and I had people from the restaurant coming up to me saying, "That's the coolest thing in the world. You got up to sign sneakers." So that's
Well,
the fun part of collecting.
we would love to pick this up next week.
Anytime you guys want me, I'll make myself available. I love talking about this stuff.
Awesome.
Well,
Awesome.
that
We
that
can't
is
thank you
that is
enough.
great. Yes. Thank you very much, Jeff.
Guys, continued success with your show. It's great. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Bye bye now.
Smarterfan. Smarterfan. Yeah.